Okay, good morning, everyone in the studio and our viewer. Let me start by saying yes, voting has started. But let me give you a little background. We came in before, we set out before 6 a.m. this morning, went to the local government office where the materials were then moved to rack centers. The rack center is like a collection of polling units where they basically gather. And so when we trailed them to the rack center, we were now with them when they started deploying them to the various polling units. So I can tell you for a fact that one of the issues we observed was that it appeared the usual problem of vehicles, logistics reared its head here at this location in Lokoja. We're actually at Crowder Memorial College, where we are coming to you from. So I'm told about 100 polling units gather here and set off from here. And the last one left here like 8:47, by my understanding, which makes it difficult. They were waiting for vehicles, and I need to tell you, it was really touching to see that even for some of the polling units that were close by, some of the ad hoc staff put themselves out there. They took the boxes on their head, carried the tables, and started walking to get to the unit and to make sure that the exercise starts as it should by 8:30. But for a large majority, they had to wait for vehicles. And you need to see how once a vehicle is coming in, they run to the vehicle to try and make sure they leave this place to get to their own point of assignment. And it was touching to me to see how committed they were to get that done. When I tried to find out what was going on, I understood they had a little logistics problem, and it appeared what they were doing was making sure that the vehicles go, drop some of the ad hoc staff at the polling units, and then come back to pick more. The final one, I'm told, left here 8:47. But at this point, by 8:25, everything had been set, and by that time, at this polling unit behind me, this PU 012 at Crowder Memorial College, they started by 8:25. They had already started briefing voters that were already gathered. A lot of voters had come even before that time. We're checking their names to be sure this was their polling unit. And immediately at 8:30, voting commenced at this point. We have another polling unit to my right, and a smaller unit, it would appear, but they also started on time. Everything went on as it should. So right now, voting is going on. Everything is peaceful. We have police officers sitting by, watching, and everything is going as it should. I have one of the voters here that has just voted. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Can you start by introducing yourself?
Okay, my name is Isiaka Ndagi Adamu. So this is my polling unit. Crowder Memorial College is my polling unit. And as you can see, we are very happy this morning because everything started very peaceful. And now I have performed my accreditation and vote. And it don't even take me more than 2 minutes. So everything is very okay here. Because the reason why everybody was very happy is because we have security behind us, so we have no fear. Everything is very, very okay. So you can see everybody is outside to perform their franchise, to vote for who will be the next governor that will lead us for this state. So everything is okay, sir.
Okay, so the machines, how did that go?
No, it's very fast. The machine is very, very, very okay. So everything is very okay, sir.
But you vote here normally.
Yes.
These people come in, this is your normal atmosphere.
You know, before, we only have two polling units in this axis, in this area. But with time now, the population is increasing. So now we have about 3 to 4 polling units that they pick from here. So that is what reduced the numbers of people.
Thank you very much. Yes, so we have it there. Just as he explained to us, we understand we've come here a few times, and for those who may not remember, this was also a place where we had an incident the last time, where some ballot box was snatched. We had shooting in the air and all that. But it appeared after that exercise that the commission decongested this particular center, the Crowder Memorial College, and we now have just 2 units here. So this is what we have for now. We are observing the elections, everything going peacefully, and as things come up, we will get back to you. So let me return to the studio. Thank you very much.
What you have reported so far, but let's start with the rear. Let's start from the rear. Where you are at, and in a number of other polling units that you may have observed, what's the level of the presence of security personnel that should provide assurance for voters who are stationed to vote? For instance, where you're at, how many police personnel can you count?
Okay, so at this particular polling point, we have 3 police officers there and 1 officer from the civil defense. So, but that's for this polling unit. At the other polling unit, I observed 2 police officers. But I can tell you that there are about 5 or 6 away from the polling unit, sitting and observing what's happening here. And I do know that usually around the polling unit, we don't have very heavy presence of police officers. Usually they try to balance it out between making sure that it appears that there's not too heavy a presence of police officers. But usually they also have some level of security, and they escalate it as they go out. But here we have a very good complement, I would say, of police officers here with us here.
And that's reassuring, and we hope it's the same story for the other polling units in the state. Earlier on, you talked about the logistical challenge that INEC officials have had to face in deploying materials from the registration area centers. Surely this is at variance with what has been promised by the Commission at the state level. And perhaps you know the distance from where they were deployed to where they're headed. This will definitely impact on the time for commencement of elections. Talk us through that.
Okay, so very interesting there, and I'm happy you mentioned it. Yesterday we had a briefing with the REC, and he made a very interesting promise. Let me put it as a promise. And his own promise was that he wanted a situation, and he had worked and tried to put in place structures to ensure that voters will come to the polling unit and meet the ad hoc staffs already set up and ready to go. Well, from what we observed here, yes, in some polling units, but maybe for those that were around here, I can talk for where I am right now. Where I am, yes, some voters would have met the polling units ready, but for the people that needed vehicles to reach where they had to be, they would have experienced a little, would I say, lateness from the ad hoc staff. I was here, observed how we still had issues getting people. They were waiting. Even the ad hoc staff themselves were anxious and ready, really eager to get to their polling units. And I noted that they were still here way after voting had commenced at the polling unit where I was, so where I am. So it's for some polling units, it clearly would not have been as it was planned out to be. But I can't say for everywhere else. So yes, that issue of logistics is still something we still need to keep our eye on and see how we can address it.
Just before we let you go, Lanre, from where you're at, what can you tell us about the functionality of the BVAS machine since the commencement of voting?
Okay, so I've spoken to about 6, 7 voters. For majority of them, it appears it's come and go. You come, you use the machine, it works seamlessly, you vote, you go. But I had one of the first people, an elderly man who tried to vote. He said his what do you call it? Fingerprints was not captured. His face did not appear to respond, or the machine didn't basically do what it should do, and he's been told to wait. I think they're trying to understand what to do and be guided on the way forward. But largely, the machine seems to be working flawlessly. People are coming in a few minutes, and they vote and they go.
All right then, Lanre, thank you so much for your reporting and all you do. Please stay safe. The information you gave the other time about that's the exact place where you are now is where we had some kind of unrest earlier. Please do stay safe. I'm happy also that you said we have a good complement of security personnel there and in the layers that is prescribed by the law. Thank you, and we hope to get some feedback from you shortly.